Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this week's Sketch Sunday. And of course it is still May, so it is May I Scrap Lift You. And this week we are scrap lifting and we are celebrating Sandie. Sandie, who is Steak Goddess here on YouTube. She has a Facebook group that goes along with her shop, which is Scrapping Reflections. I will have, of course, all of that down below. So we chose one of the sketches from Follow a Sketch February and are scrap lifting Sandie's take on that, or I guess I should say scrapjacking, because that is what Sandie refers to it as. So you can see up here in the corner both the sketch and Sandie's layout. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a mixture of both. So because it is May I Scrap Lift You, the emphasis is going to be on the scrap lifting portion. So I do have 3 photos in the same sort of sizing that Sandie has, and I'm going to arrange them in the same way. Now this is going to be a companion page or the second page to a double page layout. This will be the left-hand page. Look at this guy with his soccer uniform on. Oh my God, that is he is just so adorable. Is he not? Isn't he tall? I don't know. They were telling Gwen that he was sort of maybe even a little bit like average or below. He's tall. I mean, he's 5 years old. That's tall. That, to me, is tall. So there you go. He looks absolutely a dream in this uniform. And then their first practice, or the first, which was last weekend, which Gwen says was absolutely hilarious. So I've got a series of photos here. He's thinking very, very hard. Here's a little bit more serious. Smiling here and listening to what the coach has to say. And if I remember correctly, Gwen is saying what they were explaining, you can see there's several soccer balls here. So the idea was they were each their turn, one at a time, take the ball and do something with it and come back. And in the end, when it was time to do it, they all just went off together with balls in all sorts of different directions. And here he is again with his friends. So I think those are so cute. Now, I wanted to use my collection Obsession from Vicki Boutin, and there's not a lot of red in this. So I thought I would go more into the greens, starting with that anyway. Now, this is where I'm going to decide whether I do the embellishing on the right-hand side a little bit more the way Sandie did it. So I do have my trusty scallop punch here because she used some strips, scallop punch strips, or whether I'm going to do it a little bit more like the sketch with larger strips of paper. So let's start with sort of like the background. And I thought I might want to use this background, but I'm changing my mind on that, and I'm thinking then my next idea was to use this paper as my background from the Staples paper, which I really like. Bring in this paper. But then I was thinking to mat my photos, I want to go and look on this side. You've got that lovely dark green. And I think I want to mat my photos in that. And I've already used the other one of this paper. There's 2 in the pack. So I went back into the paper pad and I brought this paper out, which is the B-side from this, to use this, I think, is my background. You can see in Sandie's that there's a large strip. I think I'm going to use this lovely paper for that. And then organize my photos. Let's see, maybe start with this one. And we have this one. And ooh, I might have to do it this way. We'll have to see. Anyway, so the photos will be sort of like that and like this. There we go. I think maybe something like that. Anyway, I'll see, bring the photos in. And then for either the scallop strips, so definitely map my photos in this darker green. And then for the scallop strips, I have this scrap on my desk, which is not from the Vicky Bouton, but I think I might bring in a little bit of the golden yellow. I also have, in the tags, I have the darker green, or I might use this tag. The yellow is there. Bring in perhaps, I don't think I want to bring in any of the dusty rose, but I might want to bring in some of the sort of cracked or brown. So I have that here, which I might want to use for one of the strips. And then I have this, maybe I have sort of this orangey, if I decide to go with the smaller strips, this orangey or this sort of peachy, taupey, crafty color. I'm not quite sure what I would call that color, but that might fit in as well. So there we go. Then I have, of course, the chipboard gatherings. I think that will definitely be, that might be my title. There we go. Let's see, what else do I have here? Capture the moments that count. I think that might be fun. Bring in, now let me see if I have, what colors do we have here? One. For number one, but there's so many. I mean, there's not a photo here where he's on his own, so I might use that over on the companion page. Cute little flags, maybe. Don't know if I want any butterflies. Cat would be cute. Oh, 5. I might bring that in because they are here. They are, oh, they're 6. 2, 4, 6. And here they, oh, here they are. Well, no, because with the coach, they're 5. All right, so never mind. All right, my friends. So let me go off and get this sort of situated and get the layout started. And I will come back and finish that with you. See you just on the other side. Okay, my friends, so there we go. The layout is finished. It's a very, very dark, dreary, and rainy day here today. We've had that for the last few days. And so at some point it was almost like dark during the night, so I just kept on scrapping. Now we have a little bit of a brighter, well, not brighter, but not quite as dark or cloudy. So I thought I'd just come on and share the completed layout. So you can see that basically I did a little bit of a mix of the sketch and Sandie's layout. And by the way, I forgot to mention earlier that it is Sandie's birthday today. We are celebrating her birthday. So there you go. So happy, happy birthday, Sandie. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful day, surrounded by your family, friends, and a lovely bottle of wine. So there we go. So you can see here that the photos, as I mentioned, I did exactly the way Sandie did in her layout. Up here in this area, the embellishing is a little bit more like the sketch with some strips of paper. And then I added some scalloped edges along this side, the way Sandie had in her layout. So a little bit of a mixture of both. A very tiny embellishment cluster here. I added a Nicole Jones 911 tab, butterfly, and these little chipboard bits from Flower Emporium. So this one is Good News. I added one down here with Good Things, and I moved my title down into this area. So I added an additional strip. I put Gatherings and Good Things for another tiny little cluster here, and the larger cluster up here in the corner. So Capture the Moments That Count, which is sort of a subtitle and is where Sandie has her title. So there you go, fairly simple in the end, but you know, the focus really here needs to be on the photos, and I think that is what it is. And I have this photo to do the left-hand page, and hopefully you'll see that during the week sometime. And I will see you back here very, very soon. So again, don't forget, the playlist is down below. The Sketch Sunday crew links are down below, because I think some are just doing Sketch Sunday and not necessarily the scrap lift. So we'll see. So I have all of them listed down below. And then, of course, the May I Scrap Lift You playlist. I will see you back here very, very soon. Stay safe and happy scrapping. See you soon, friends. Bye for now.